Hello, dear viewers. Thank you so much for joining me today. Well, today I want to check in on midterms for the House of Representatives specifically. A lot of people are saying, well, the numbers don't look so hot for Democrats keeping majority there. So I want to look at that. You know, I've always, whenever I check in with Spirit about this, oh gosh, for the last couple of years, I've always gotten this feeling like, that'll be fine. Like this message, that'll be fine. So I thought, well, that must mean that, maybe they do hang on to it just barely or something like that. Or it could also be, it doesn't matter if they don't, because the margins would be so narrow that it's not like Republicans could, there'd be gridlock still. That's what I'm saying. There could still be gridlock, and we have gridlock still. Because in the Senate, we're equally divided, and we have two very conservative Democrats, Manchin and Sinema, who will sometimes vote with the Republicans. So there's a lot of gridlock there. So I almost feel like the reason it's sort of like, hey, it's going to be okay, is don't worry, nothing will change. It's like that. But let's see. Let me ask Source. I'm going to lay cards for the Democrats and the Republicans. Let's see what the election looks like for both sides. The Democrat has a narrow majority now. The Democrats do. Well, Democrats, of course, still have the White House, of course. So that means a lot, apparently. That means a lot, whether they retain the majority or not. Well, of course it does. Biden has to sign in any law, or he can refuse to. Oh, the press. The press is really going to be helping the Democrats out in ways we don't anticipate. This I keep hearing too. I do feel like the January 6th committee and any representatives implicated in that's going to just, oh my gosh, we're going to see it in ads. We're going to see it in campaign warnings and ads and all this stuff so much. It's going to be more in people's faces, even Republicans' faces. So that's going to help the Democrats. Well, here's the deal. They'll also be saying, yeah, but we're promising a lot, right? But then some of that is putting the best foot forward, but how have they been able to deliver on some things, but like I said, in the Senate there's been gridlock. So, but then again, people might ask themselves, well, would I rather have a chance at least of having more citizen-friendly policies regarding financial help, regarding taxes on the poor and middle classes, regarding student loan debt, perhaps. Wouldn't I rather have, maybe that's that. 10 of coins, they do get pretty good war chests too, and there are plenty of very wealthy donors who donate to their cause as well. So they have a lot of things going for them, is what I'm seeing here. Let's see about the Republicans. Standing their ground. Well, they certainly don't lose seats. They're a success, though. Hope makes them hopeful. So they do well enough in the election that they feel like there's a success and it makes them hopeful. But then there's a tower. You guys, I don't know why, but I don't see. You could say that maybe this is a good tower because it's with the hope card. I don't feel that, though. What is this? 7 of Swords. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. There's some really underhanded things that are done, I'm seeing, from the Republican Party. And maybe it is messing with the vote. It's the same old stuff of voter suppression and maybe purging voter rolls of Democrats, or the racist kind of profiling. Because remember in Georgia, a lot of the voter rolls were purged of names that are often held by people of color. And certainly from areas and regions that have more people of color living there. So there's more of this sneaky, oh, it's bad. It's bad enough that there's some exposure of it, is what I'm seeing here. Oh my. What? Let me clarify this world card. Okay. I feel like, we did well. Okay. If they stand their ground, but don't count on that forever, is what I'm seeing here. But yet don't count on that to dissolve quickly either. King of Coins. They do have some very wealthy people who would like to see them back in power. Guys, from this, what I'm getting is, even if the Republicans somehow get the majority, it would be so slim that I just don't think it would matter. I think there's trouble. I think there may be candidates investigated afterwards, or elections investigated afterwards. Very interesting. So that could bring or there's recounts, perhaps. That's interesting. We'll have to see if there are a number of candidates who have recounts. Very interesting. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So the Democrats, yes, they bring a good message. However, they're kind of constricted by the things that were promised and didn't get done, right? And the current economic times, which are less favorable this year than they were last. Because, the effects of the pandemic are kind of catching up with us. The supply chain issues, the things that weren't created or produced or shipped. Just the cost. The shortage of workers, all of those things are kind of catching up with us. And the Fed is not pumping money into the stock market anymore and is raising rates, making housing more, maybe less valuable, maybe harder to get because interest rates will be higher. All these things are sort of kind of multiplying to get people talking about possibility of recession, I guess. So that's never good for a sitting president at midterms. So I guess, frankly, you guys, I see more gridlock. I feel like, and you know what? The markets like gridlock, and that's what they'll get. That's what they tend to get, don't they? I feel like perhaps it is possible Republicans get a slim majority, but again, gridlock. I don't know that it matters. I just don't know that it matters. I think what's more concerning is the liberties that are taken suppressing the vote. And that will be talked about. We have the press active for the Democrats. So, yeah, it just, But then with these cards, it is possible too that the Democrats maintain their majority, but just barely. Let's see. Let me pull on that. Will the Democrats maintain their majority? Let me just, one card. Like I don't feel safe enough about that. I don't feel secure enough about that. Debate. Oh gosh, there's going to be a number of elections that are debated. There's going to be a number of wins that are debated. Delay. If they don't, because they don't have enough, just wait a little while and they'll get it back. That's what I'm seeing here. So I just wanted to look at that, guys. I hate this. I see this on the bottom of the deck, the family, you know. I've been getting that card since that documentary, The Family, on Netflix about the conservative sort of politician incubator where, you know, young politicians are identified that could be molded into the conservative, evangelical, conservative kind of mold, but really very pro-business is what this mold is. And started at the National Prayer Breakfast, although I don't know that that was the original meaning of that National Prayer Breakfast. It's been along for a long time. But this to me coming up here when I ask about the Democrats is telling me, you know what? There's enough. There are Democratic lawmakers who are also very favorable to big business, also courting sort of evangelical conservative Americans. So, you know, that's a bummer. And then we have Ace of Wands opportunity, but then that brings in an opportunity for we're sick of the way things are done in Washington and we want change. So there's that too. Okay. Well, I thank you all so much. I thank you all so much. I think this is, I am not worried. I am not fearful about midterms and what happens there in the House of Representatives. I am not. I do not believe, you know, they always want to say, oh, we'll impeach Joe Biden. A lot of secrecy there, worry, but I think for now, I don't think they would. There's Joe. See, our stuff with Russia again. The thing is, they're also mad Trump got impeached over issues regarding Russia, regarding Ukraine and his conduct there. But it won't go anywhere because the Senate is too evenly divided. It won't go anywhere. Even if some House members write up articles of impeachment and it passes the House, it won't go anywhere. That's what I'm seeing there. So no need to worry. That's what I'm seeing. All right. Well, I thank you all so much. You take care and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.